Hey Scruffy, how you doing? Whoa, is that a hiss? Hey, you'd be happy to see me. Okay, well they're the meows, but yeah, I'm really surprised by that initial reaction. I don't know, is that a meow that came out like a hiss, or is it a cut in your throat? Okay, so I have your smelly fish tonight with kibble. Sound good? Yeah. So I just got back from my run, so I'm really tired. So how about we feed you, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna pick up the food and bring it out. Oh wow, you're ahead of me. Okay. Okay, so here I come. So I'm gonna put the food on the table. And there's that hiss again. Oh, jumpy tonight. So I thought we were making progress. Being a little friendlier the past few days, but I don't know now. I think you're reverting back to your normal behavior. Hissy. Okay, so I'm taking your old water out and putting your new water in. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna stand up and grab the glove and sit in the chair. Okay, came right for the glove, huh? So you're walking away from me. Okay, it's a little better. So the weather was about the same as yesterday. So I think Scruffy had a pretty easy day. So I got up a little bit late today, which was probably good because, yeah, I've been having trouble sleeping for so long. When I get up late, that means, getting a little more sleep. I had a very strange nightmare dream. Basically, I was trying to get to my aunt's funeral, but yeah, I was living in a very Orwellian state. So basically, there were laws and passports and papers, documentation, and all sorts of things you needed to travel anywhere. And without the proper paperwork, basically it was illegal for you to travel. And so, of course, I couldn't get the correct paperwork. And so I was doing everything I could to get to my aunt's funeral, including breaking the law, trying to get there. And got to see a lot of other people use their connections, basically from a corrupt government, to travel, whereas I couldn't because I didn't have the connections and the ability to bribe anybody. So, yeah, very typical Orwellian nightmare. I usually don't have those kinds of dreams, but it's probably related to the fact that I couldn't actually go to my aunt's funeral because of the quarantines and lockdowns in place, so kind of fits. So my dream was a lot worse. Got a little bit of work done today. Stuff I've been putting off for a while. So I finally got a little bit of it done. Though I haven't touched some of this stuff in a really long time, and I forgot. So there are certain files I need on my computer to do some of these things, and I've lost the files. So I had a really I don't know if it was an accident or me being careless. I think it was an accident. Or no, it was stupid. It was basically I lost all my data on my hard drive. It was stupid. So I was trying out the Windows BitLocker security encryption feature. I just built a new computer. Well, this actually was like over a year ago. So it's like right before the lockdown started. But I was moving all my stuff to a brand new machine that I built, and I was trying out the BitLocker support because this is the first time I've had a computer that had kind of a hardware capable of doing all this stuff. And so I have a AMD Ryzen chipset which has some sort of built-in encryption. So I think it's called TPM or something. So it's supposed to work with the BitLocker thing, and it's supposed to make life a little bit nicer when dealing with it. That way you don't have to keep these big, long, giant pass phrases around all the time, or numbers, or separate encryption keys. But anyway, there was a problem with my motherboard, and I had to take it back. And then what I didn't realize or remember to do was unlock my data before I swapped the motherboard. And so, because the way the Windows BitLocker thing works, especially with this new TPM feature, you need the exact CPU and motherboard. If you change the hardware, the encryption system basically says, no, you've changed the hardware, somebody's tampering with stuff, we're not going to let you in, even though you know your passphrase, unless, so there's like a short passphrase which lets you get in for the normal case, but if everything fails, there's a long password, big giant key that you can enter to recover everything. And so I was very angry because I basically didn't remember to unlock the stuff, and I couldn't get it unlocked. But okay, I backed up the full key to a USB drive when I first encrypted it, because, you know, just in case. So I go to my USB key, and the whole thing's blank. So I don't know what the hell happened. So anyway, I lost all my data, and so I still haven't actually recovered from that, but there's some files I need that I think I lost there. I think those particular files, I have a backup, I think, somewhere, but it's been so long now, I can't remember where I put the backup, so... Okay, Scruffy, let's get your food. Okay, so looks like you want that smelly fish. So anyway, that implementation of encryption for BitLocker, it's really half-baked. It's kind of a disaster. I can't believe how bonehead stupid that thing is. So, like, yeah, you don't have those problems like the way Apple implemented it in their stuff. Like, you just from that you can tell like how half-baked that BitLocker system is. Of course, in my Linux system, yeah, I can't even get the encryption to fully work. No, I take that back. I have some encryption on it, but yeah. So the big problem is, yeah, there's like a full drive encryption, and then there's like file system encryption. And right now there are two different solutions competing in the Linux sphere. So I could use Ubuntu. So right now the full drive encryption is what you can use, but Ubuntu has actually been trying to move to a different file system called ZFS. It's kind of the shiny bell and whistle file system that claims it's going to solve all problems. It solves certain problems, and so there's certainly some nice things about the file system. One of which is, yeah, it has encryption built into it. But because, yeah, the ZFS file system support isn't fully integrated into the system yet, you can't really use it. And so if you want ZFS, you can't use, I don't think you can use the full file system encryption. And if you use the full file system encryption, you can't use ZFS. And so so yeah, the whole situation just kind of sucks on that right now. I've actually been waiting since before the pandemic because it sounded like they were hinting they were going to finally fix that problem, and you know, here we are, you know, over a year later, and yeah, I don't think they're any closer to fixing it. So I'm still annoyed. It's just me stretching my leg. So I went for a late run, and boy, that was a struggle. And the moment I started running, I was feeling the fatigue and some pain. Like, blisters in my feet or just soreness in my back. And, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take a rest day. My body's starting to fall apart on me. Yeah, this evening was a little bit cooler, so the days have been kind of consistent warm, but yeah, not hot like they were during the heat wave. But the evenings are starting to cool down a little faster, which is nice. So I went really late tonight. So as I was going through the run, it continued to get cooler. So I can't blame the heat so much for my bad performance. Yesterday I had, relatively speaking, I was actually performing pretty well. I think it was actually slightly faster than my median time. So not close to my best time, but still better than average. So, and I think it was the cooler temperatures probably had more to do with that than anything. Despite my fatigue and soreness. Yeah, I didn't see that many people at the park. There are some people, but yeah, it wasn't as busy as I thought it would be. So I did see a birthday party wrapping up. They had a big chocolate cake, which looked really, really good. Enjoying at it as I ran by. And yeah, random thing, I saw a giant ant mound. I don't know what you would call it, but basically it's a swarm of ants in the ground. I thought at first it was just like loose, very rich soil, and I noticed it was all moving. So kind of reminded me of like a horror movie, just all these ants. I don't normally see that in this area. I've heard like in some regions, yeah, you get swarms of ants like that, but I don't usually hear about them here. So is Scruffy looking at the food, or is he grooming himself? Right next to me. He's grooming himself. Yeah. So he's getting a little more comfortable with me, I guess, because yeah, he's grooming himself right next to me. I don't think he's done that before. Usually he walks away a little bit further. I think the closest he's ever been is like on the gray mat. So yeah, I guess he's getting still a little bit friendlier, even though he's hissing tonight. Looking for more food. It's actually a piece of kibble stuck to the golf ball. So I guess we'll see if he walks away or not. Huh. Okay, so he's grooming himself again. So I'm not sure if I have the patience to try to stick around with him late tonight. do another round of petting because, yeah, I'm really tired. I'm still sweaty from my run. I didn't actually have time to rest or drink. I basically got back late and said, oh crap, I need to get dinner started and get Scruffy his food, and so I need to probably wrap this up. But yeah, I think he's getting a little braver with me, so the fact that he groomed himself right next to me, that's definitely new. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.